a big part of why I wanted to do this is that I wanted to stop overthinking shit and actually just do the thing. And I've always wanted to do this. Death Grips has been amongst like some of my favorite musical acts. I like their approach to aesthetic. I like their music, but I have kept their discography at an arm's length for a moment like this because I knew I wanted to do this, but I didn't really approach it. My only experience is that I've listened to pretty much No Love Deep Web and The Money Store being my absolute favorite, one of my favorite things ever. And I've listened to it a whole bunch. I've recommended it to hundreds of people. I've listened to it with people who were not too excited about it. I already know I'm gonna like it, but I want to frame it in the overall narrative of the Death Grips discography because I'm aware that there's a narrative. I've looked it up and I've really been entrenched in it, like with the narrative of The Money Store and how it's framed and like whatever it is. My diffuser high, but I want to do this. So without further ado, this is Deep End Dive, Exmilitary. I always wondered what the cover art was of. Actually, I didn't think it was. Oh, okay. According to Andy Morin, the cover art is a photograph that one of our members carried in their wallet for roughly 10 years straight. It's a power project. The photo was eventually identified as a bearded man and taken by Douglas Logan in 1968. That's interesting. What does Douglas do? Is this the same guy? Alright. That's weird. I mean, just to look into the band, I guess, just to sort of get more acquainted with him. So it's like it's a trio. You've got Senor Grips, MC Ride, Zach Hill, and Andy Morin. Right. Andy doesn't have a page. It's so sad. Right. And if you want to check out his art, actually, which is quite haunting. I love his illustrations. I actually thought about buying some. But I think, I don't know, like I thought about, like this is probably my favorite one. These are all amazing. Acrylic on canvas, I love it. Like, but it's so him. Like the disjointed, powerful narratives that he's able to tell through the music is definitely something that I could see being reflected here in how visceral these paintings are with immense detail, and like it really does feel like a vivid, horrific flashback. Pretty much this entire like style. Wow, look at that. Huh. Cool shit. I wonder if somebody bought them. No. Alright, it's a Squarespace site. Interesting. Senor Grips is like us. It's just another guy. So that's the track listing, right? We could always just do this. Let's just get these out of the way. Wear a mask. Okay. I think we should just get into it. Beware guillotine. Alright, this seems familiar. But let's go. I'm aware I've heard guillotine before. Let's have a listen. It's a mixtape, so I'm listening to it as a mixtape. I'm trying to approach this with like, oh, I'm not aware of Death Grips. Like, I guess it's so hard once you've heard Death Grips to not hear Death Grips. I guess. Okay.
He come to me with money in his hand. He offered me. I didn't ask him. I wasn't knocking someone's door down. I was running from that. When I got out, I was in that. I was already through that. I had that. I had the studio. I went to the studio. Went to Vox Studios. I had it all. And I looked at it and I said, this is a bigger jail than I just got out of. I don't want to take my time going to work. I got a motorcycle and a sleeping bag and 10 or 15 girls. What the hell I want to go off and go to work for? Work for what? Money? I got all the money in the world. I'm the king, man. I run the underworld, guy. I decide who does what and where they do it at. When am I going to run around and act like I'm some teeny bopper somewhere for somebody else's money? I make the money, man. I roll the nickels. The game is mine. I deal the cards.
torch and burn it. I am the beast I worship. I close my eyes and seize it. I clench my fists and beat it.
Wow.
I light my torch and burn it. I am the beast I worship. And I know soon come my time, but in my mortal hell is burned. But I did not the time I'm taking past the point of no return. Raise war like no tomorrow, cause no hell there won't be won. For all who deny the struggle, the triumph and overcome.
Is it weird to say that this is the least Death Grips song I've ever heard? Like hearing fucking Stefan like Ride. Let's just call him Ride. Hearing MC Ride on a beat that is relatively progressive with like coherent instrumentation, let's say, that's not horrifically distorted, it's an experience that really fucks with you. This is weird, but I like it. It's strange. It's like teenage Death Grips. It's like still struggling with like some kind of identity issue. Like you could tell that they're still like, oh, is that what we want to sound like? Is that what you guys like? Like they're still gauging what each what they're each into. Like it's so nice to go back and actually experience these beginnings.
Strips away, you and then, and up to there. On her winds, rise begin when the sun descends. If I with you, will ever know. Made to make me shine as a testament to other ways of the blind will never get. Ship or shake by my disrespect. Dismiss this life, worship death. Cold blood night of serpent's breath. Exhale like smells from the endlessness in the bottomless well of emptiness. Channel to evoke what we represent. Secret order, elitist order, creeping fire, seizing power. Pride is up, the loop is out. I am playing the sun, the torch are ready, the force are on. Feel my vessel go up in flames. Let's go step by the unnamed. Direct connection to the source. Vestment of a natural force. Forever burning like torch. Wisdom of the holy true. Possessed by the chosen few. Shining true. Reveal the what beast I worship.
There's an outro.
What up, Joyce? Man, seeing what's going on with it. If you guys got the CD thinking about hitting out here, he's gonna come through and smoke some. It goes.
So, lyrically speaking, this feels like some kind of narrative prequel into the story of whatever person that we're following through the Death Grips discography, right? Like this, like narratively, not musically, like not sonically. This feels like that it could perfectly transition into Get Got, and it would make perfect sense. Like Get Got is essentially this same person, except not being as descriptive. I feel like Get Got is just like, it's just this intro into a different type of narrative where everything picks up speed, and there's a lot more, I don't know, drugs, because this person's awareness of their environment and their ability to describe the darkness that they're descending into was still very much there, while it gets less and less obvious, right, as the discography moves forward, which makes perfect sense. The whole thing, the money store shifts entirely after the fever, right? And yeah, this is interesting. But then also a line that caught my eye was over here where he talks about some bitch, right? Worship is not on bended knee. Nature knows not of mercy. To praise, to accept defeat. Power pisses on the weak. Bowen beheaded by the beast. Beggar on a bitch's leash. Scum is desperate for relief. This reminds me of the cover concept of the money store also. Is this something that yeah. This is a connection that somebody's already made. The cum is desperate. This cum is desperate. What the fuck is this? Right, guillotine. I love this song.
It goes, guillotine!
Yo!
Sit in the dark and ponder how I'm fit to make the bottom fall to the floor, and they all fall down. the shadows, barrage of which tongue cobra spit over apocalyptic coat. Kill a cauldron, smoke, stop music, seriously. It goes, it goes, it goes, it goes, it goes, it goes. Can't stop this groove, look stars, clear off them locks. Me drop this cold, guillotine, death sentence. Yeah. It goes, 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 guillotine. Hit it all between. It goes, 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 guillotine. Tinted windows, bulletproof. The slip not fixing rope to noose to the gravestone grinder of cold steel. The passion that blinds me, so I feel. Yeah. They go to it, flows through our veins, blows through our tunnels and rattles our chains, and they all fall down.
I like that. It's really throwing you down with them. Andy really did something here. I see it as like the beginning of this ascent. Okay, so this is a mixtape, so I'm gonna judge it as such, so this doesn't really take away from it, but you can't help but notice the fragmentation of the sound. So far, like the first two tracks, like the sound is like all over the place, right? There's really not like a consistent sound. It's really all over the place, but I don't know if that's a bad thing, because when this would have come out, this would have been mind fucking blowing to anyone who heard it, right? At the very least, it would have been something so incredibly distant from whatever it was the general zeitgeist was used to. So I could see this as like them experimenting. This is a mixtape as fuck. Like it's appropriately named. No, I love the descriptive poetry that Ride puts into this. It's so fucking animalistic. I love it. Spinning exorcist, like planets out of orbit off the edge. Like this is such a vivid description of a scene that no one has ever been in except Ride, apparently. Right? You have to deeply appreciate whatever is being built here. This is like such an interesting narrative. I have not heard much like this. Really, the lyricism in a Death Grip song is almost entirely unique to them. I've personally never experienced anything like it.
Cross the block, spread ego, spread ego, cross the block. I fuck the music, I make it curve. I fuck the music with my serpent curve. Hit. Wanna be, have no fear, comes and goes, man. It's here, no one knows. Feels so weird when it blows to my bones. I want some more
the
of
sample.
I want too much. I got so bored with it. I shot it up, but I light my torch with it and get all fucked up. Yeah. What is it? Where is it? How will it affect me? Fuck that shit. I need that shit down to be the death of me. Fuck buying it like driving down the street to the beat of a blowjob.
It's the weirdest country song I've ever heard in my life.
Not a dream. As for me, I'm doing it. That's alright, cause it's my thing. What is it? Where is it? How will it affect me? Work that angle to the level curve of the blade double edge made. Believe the struggle best. Believe fucking dirty. How I make it twitch and scream. How it screams. Oh baby, hurt me. Working to the bone. Oh please. How I bend the rhythm over. Hit it on my knees. Give it up. I need it all the time. Bleed it on the drop of a dime. Down the pound until it's shot. Break shit down and make it grind to the roof. Used to align the cascading shade. Jaded blues with these rhymes.
I did not expect this thing.
Shit is mine. It's all mine. All the time. Shit is mine.
right? Fuck me. If you would have told me that Death Grips would jump on a fucking country beat like that, I don't even know what to call it. Is this country? I don't even know what the fuck this sound is. But the juxtaposition of this person in an environment that's not theirs and them highlighting the fact that they're taking shit away from this environment for their own self-gain is some next fucking level storytelling. I'll tell you that much. I did not expect to do this track as much as I did. There is something about it, though, that doesn't make it readily listenable on like a daily basis as a song, the way that the cohesive nature of the Money Store makes it so. But I don't think that should take away from it. I think this is good the way that it is. Like, I love it. It's the lyrical highlights is obviously I love that line. Because all I really need is some cool shit to mob, like driving down the street to the beat of a blowjob. Shit is mine. It's all mine all the time. Shit is mine. This is some powerful shit. I love it. All right. Next song is Lord of the Game. Featuring Liz Lyles.
Into the flame, into the fire, with no regard for a thing but that I'm the Lord of the game. I rule this empire. I am the god of hellfire. Lord of the game. For the reign above all that you claim to know me on the down. There's no one escape, even close to the train. I thought we drop by neutron bombs from the tower. Draw this to magnets and watch your retire. Then anything seen in your entire life spin and change. Sonic like wire, electrified rain from the lips of the driver. Here's someone knocking at my front door. Who could it be?
I'm waiting for something to happen.
The knocking to see what could be in store for me if I leave the safety of the shore.
It's being teased every so often. You know what I'm talking about.
Little time. Do what I want for the end of the line. Places its blade in the small of my spine. Is it paranoia?
Is it real?
Come on, can a man enjoy what he doesn't feel? Ask if you can make it, and you don't want to go.
Thoughts. I am so impressed, but I have a problem. So I guess the beat starts off very minimal, and it gives you this impression that this is gonna be a thing where the focus of the track is gonna remain the vocals, and the beat is just gonna serve as like a stage, right, to showcase whatever it is that they're trying to show. But what happens here, and the feature is used beautifully, by the way. What happens here is strange, because how do I even feel about this? What happens here is pretty weird in the way that the beat itself develops, and it's like it feels like it's trying to break out of a cage, right? But the beat remains constrained. It's like somebody's holding a really violent animal on a leash, right? And the vocals still take front and center, with the stage sort of coming up to eat them, but sort of refusing to. When I heard like there's this bits of some kind of beat drop, I guess, or some kind of like sonic reward to get you at the end of the song to like an explosive outro, it didn't happen. And I don't know how I feel about that yet, but it's not super positive. But maybe that'll change. We're only 4 tracks in, for fuck's sake. So let me just stay in it, right? Next track is Takyon. Oh, I've heard it. I think everybody's heard it.
Atomic penetration, rapid fire through your skull. Shot it on when taking it back to the days of trying to lose control. Swerving in a blaze of fire, racing through my bones. Oh shit, I'm feeling it. Takion, hell yeah, fuck yeah, I feel like killing it. Takion, alright, that's not what it's like to experience. Takion, out of the blue, into the bag, door coming through like fuck, what was that? I don't know, but it made me feel so heated. How we creeping up, showing you jazz. Shit from below, give a shit if you know, cause even if you did, bet you keep coming back. Back for more, need a man, yo, addicted to the heat, we make beats cash. Finish till it bleeds to death, each track, epileptic season.
million ways to die. Choose.
This was Takyon. What does Takyon even mean? I'm sure the subreddit could help me out with this one. Shout out. What does Takyon actually mean? Zakyon. Purported to travel faster than the speed of light. Yeah, we're very into science. Takyon is in reference to the particle, and in song, it's a metaphor representing the sensation of air becoming that particle or harnessing its energy. I totally see that. Huh. Don't look at my downloads, naughty boy. Or girl. Okay, the interview isn't loading. Okay, I can't confirm the source, but this seems pretty... Shut up. This seems pretty credible. Man, this track is really nice, but then again, like, I guess this is the... There's an incredibly, like, sonically pleasing aspect to it. I constantly feel like I'm shown something and then rewarded. That feels good. It's nice to listen to. That's for sure. I'll say that. And there is reward with how the beats are laid out. It's really fascinating because, like, MC Ride's vocal performance is so overwhelming, but the production doesn't shy away either. But it feels like the production and the vocal performance are trying to do two different things at the same time, but it's working out. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Cutthroat is an instrumental. Interesting. I'm looking at the lyrics. Where are the lyrics? There's lyrics. Oh, it transitions right into Klink, actually. So, let's do that. No. Okay, so I see the point now. So the reason why not a lot of these tracks have any sonic payout in that particular order is because you do get the sonic payoff from all of these tracks sort of compiled into this, and then again it gives you an opportunity for, like, the producer to flex the production, I guess, and to, like, basically it's a mixtape, right? Everyone is flexing their creative muscles. Everyone is, like, stretching out to see how far the room goes in either direction, right? So that's pretty interesting. I really like that. Yeah, then again, like, you can't help but feel like MC Rat's performance always is, like, takes center stage, but I think sometimes you often forget that the production or even Zach's drumming is just as potent, and it is within the same narrative structure, but I guess a different way of experiencing it. Like, what I love about Death Grips is that all three aspects of it sort of feed into each other and sort of enhance each other without really intervening. It's really well layered. This is Klink. This is so on topic, I guess, for today.
What it feels like to have your rights read to you, father.
This is horrific. Like, let's look into the lyrics for a second here. Try to hem up like that for life stuck in the clink, haters in blue. How they set me up. Should I test my luck? Here they come, they're in pursuit. What do I do? What haven't I done? You want to see my ID? Well, okay, where I'm coming from, just on my way, not on the run. What you want me to say? Are you just about done? Power tripping, asshole licking haters. Wow. Man, everybody knows they suck. Like anybody wants to see a cup. I got to be somewhere, man. Fuck. Why the hell you always stopping me around the clocking? Me like what? What are you gonna do when they come for you? A gang of hating pigs. But then this is where it gets relatively dark. 6 feet deep below the street. Buried. Right? So they can't never say shit again. Fuck the man with a thick broomstick. I suppose this is the man they're referring to at the end here. Well, the commentary is really well done, and the instrumental lends itself to the idea, but this makes me think that, like, there is not really one narrative here to follow, that this is more of experimentation, which is, I guess, what a mixtape is. They're following a style and aesthetic, but not necessarily a narrative yet. Are they coming for me? But yeah. It's a heavy song. Next up is Culture Shock.
Useless information occupies free open space inside your skull. You know what's going on every day, every night, everywhere. Streets so international. Upside down cross in a jumbotron. Wait up, hold on. Blowing anthrax off my palm. Say what? You're wrong. Switch stands, face plan. They gon' buy a starter. Flatlander, plug puller, no dive turbulence charter. Speaking abbreviations because real life conversation moves too slow. Media's creation, yeah, your free will has been taken and you don't know. Fuck yourself, chuck yourself. Won't you sharp, fuck yourself, fuck yourself. Won't you sharp, fuck yourself, fuck yourself.
You need to vibrate higher.
Won't you sharp, fuck yourself, fuck yourself. Won't you sharp, fuck yourself, fuck yourself.
You need to vibrate higher.
Never seen without when leverage, she's a satanic priestess. Anarchy on my speak flag, flying faceless, elitist. Pro in a down low end, rapping Orion's belt. Atlantis, ancient vagina, getting dusty on the shelf. Won't you sharp, fuck yourself, fuck yourself.
You need to vibrate higher.
Won't you sharp, fuck yourself, fuck yourself. Won't you sharp, fuck yourself, fuck yourself.
You need to vibrate higher so you can capture the opening of the portal that connects this earth of 3D to one earth of 4D or 5D.
Going to the which is the next track is 5D. I guess that's neat. But this is an interesting way to work through somebody, I guess, just many a young person being oppressed by culture, or just the expectation of culture of them and what they need to do, right? Posture check for you as well. But it's interesting to work through this in this way. What you gonna be when you're grown, young blood? Gonna be a helpless drone. Won't ever have to think. Now your head will be linked directly to your cell phone. The virus is alive. You can see it in your eyes. The infection is full blown. Career killer double-decker packed with suicidal brides. Forearm fury and a filthy dream about splitting your bitch's eyes. Enter through unknowing eyes. Touch the keys that's in your mind. Can't delete it. Soon you'll find me. How bad you need it all the time. It's so interesting. Again, this visceral theme of something very, very strange and dark and horrific coming at you through all of these expectations is the underlying theme of whatever it is. Like it's like Death Grips, like the entirety of Death Grips feels like a narration of an anxiety attack, right? An anxiety attack, I guess, in every which way it could possibly come to you. It's so interesting that somebody could capture this moment and go into it. Like the moment, like, I guess a lot of things could show you how a thing looks before and after a distortion, but not a lot of musicians can describe the distortion itself as it's happening, and this is why this is very, very unique. The next song is 5D, and we're at track number 9 already. This album is fast. Oh shit, we're about to transcend. And 5D is an instrumental. Alright, it launches straight away into Thru the Walls. Yeah, sorry I didn't catch that transition. It's a YouTube video. Fuck this shit. Can't wait to get onto the Spotify stuff.
If you're delusional, your call will be transferred to the mothership.
Yes, I like the drug.
Coming through, watching you, what if you didn't fuck you? What this is, what this for? Feel my fist push black gold through your bitch ass and core. Put it back like a whore, make you shit your fucking drawers. Stand around, tell us all before my heart is out of the walls. Dragging like a loaded wagon, truck my demons down your halls. Get a man who get down when I get the flash and see this all through to a fraction of what they're lacking less than that of time at all. Can't believe they have the gall to try and act like they're not trapped between these walls. Bring it, kill it.
Shit.
Bring that shit, easy, sling it, bring back that shit, kill it. Bring that shit, easy, sling it, bring back that shit, kill it. Bring that shit, bring back that shit, bring that shit, bring back that shit, bring that shit, easy, sling it, bring back that shit, kill it. All the way inside. Yeah, we got this feeling in the door. Try not to let the feeling tear you apart. The challenge is closing, and it won't stop. This house is almost over, but it's not.
This one was intense, but in the best way. So in a lot of religious circles, the way that this drum beat is laid out, a lot of people dance to this, and it's not really dancing. People sort of do it in a large group. I'm not going to say which religion. If you know, you know. People sort of gather in these large groups, and they sort of move together rhythmically to a beat very similar to this, and it creates an out-of-body experience that often lasts hours. And people just keep moving, and it's not like a movement that you can get dizzy with. It's this communal movement, and this feels like it was designed like that. It was designed to be an out-of-body experience. I could feel myself moving even when I didn't want to, The beat is so potent but very relaxed and so well mixed that it moves you without you wanting to move. It is so fucking good. This is a pizza sauce of this album. Descends in the most pleasing way. Holy shit. It does make me feel like a hoe a bit. My fucking god, I love this song. I love this song so much. The intro gets, like, the intro is, I have a very different association with the intro. It's very memey to me because it's like, it's my raid alert and get it as my sub alert, which is like, I love the little sound bites. But the beat is fucking awesome. I need to be in a mosh pit with this fucking thing that feels like you're descending. I love how every Death Grip song is just taking you down further and further. You have no idea where you're going, but you know that you're falling together, right? You have no idea. Like, the entire discography feels like a bottomless pit. I made that joke, I'm sorry. But it's this like, the potent description of the descent is mind-boggling. I'm so fucking amazed right now. Wow. I said wow so many times, but I really fucking mean it, you know? Alright. Known for it. My favorite track. I guess my least favorite track would be 5D. I don't appreciate its presence as an instrumental as much as I liked Cutthroat. Right? Cutthroat feels like payoff. 5D feels like Culture Shock and 5D were one track, but they were too long and they decided to split it, which is fine. It happens a lot, but yeah, 5D is least favorite. Known for it is most favorite. I mean, still 2 more tracks, but how the fuck do you top this? All right, this is I Want It, I Need It. Death Heated.
Been working way too much, need to get out and get fucked up. What's going on? Where's it at? Make some calls to make it crack, let's see. I need money, drugs, and ride to the spot with hot ones inside. The mission to get all of the above in a limited amount of time. I can do this and it's done. Like that, we're on our way. Be it acid on the tongue, cocaine in your brain, or some weed that hits your lungs like a runaway train. Hell yeah, don't smell. Where's it at? I want it, I need it to make me delete it. Shake it, can't take it, must break it off there when I say this. Bitch! I want it, I need it to make me delete it. Shake it, can't take it, must break it off there when I say this. Bitch! Bitch! I want it, I need it to make me delete it. Shake it, can't take it, must break it off there when I say this. Bitch. I want it, I need it to make me delete it. Shake it, can't take it, must break
Song's really going
off
on.
there when I say this.
This one is weird. It's way too different. It's the most song out of everything here. Even past the first two. It's strange to hear this type of production on this type of song, right? That's how I feel about it, at least. But, while the song feels like it drags, hold on, it doesn't really, because I feel like the lyrical necessity goes further and further. So you do need it to drag, right? But because the narrative doesn't stop. But the song itself feels a little longer than it should have. I like the hook, and I liked the instrumentation, right? The instrumentation was really good. But yeah, it feels like it didn't develop enough, I guess, with the development of everything. But then again, like, it's still a good song. But you can't ignore the star of the show, which is, again, the writing. It is so primal. It is so primal. It's very descriptive, and that's so fucking good. Like, I've run out of, like, my vocabulary just went dry when the camera turned on. I have so many opinions, like, generally, but I guess I need to, like, sort of collect myself a bit. We're approaching the end anyway. This is the last track. Blood Creepin. Okay. Alright. I need to collect myself. Give me a second. Okay. For real, though. Anyways. Part 3. I didn't even introduce part 1 and 2, but let's reflect. So, wow, it really went by really fast. That's for fucking sure. In my opinion, as a mixtape, this is, I don't want to give it a number rating, but if I really had to, I would say this is like an 8, because it opens up so many doors to the point where it feels like the money store is kind of one-dimensional, but in a good way. I don't know how to these are very negative descriptions, but I don't feel like they apply in most cases because of that. Because of how fucking good this whole thing is. So there's obviously a lot of talent. The trio is infinitely capable of becoming a super iconic act, and you can see it already. Like it's already there. Like there is nothing like it. There is nothing else to it. Like it's incredibly unique, and it needs a place in the zeitgeist. This is almost like a reflection of, you know, the society that produced this type of stuff. Because you can tell there are three distinct elements here: the progression and song structure, the production of said song structure, and the lyrics, which are three separate entities working together to represent a whole. And the sense of style oozes out of the corners of every single one of these tracks, right? But I don't want to say that there's a problem, but there is a pattern where how many times can you describe a descent into madness without it getting old? I don't know. It hasn't yet. It feels like you're hearing the same subject matter in so many of these songs, but it is always done in some way that's super fresh and super breathtaking that you don't mind it. Like, it's not bad at all. It's actually interesting that you can explore so many of these narratives of these obviously very different people, but kind of have them all lead into one thing that, with the entire, I guess, with the entirety of existence, there's something so horrifically wrong, and that all of these separate entities are experiencing it in the same way, and everybody is just descending into this place that is dark and horrible and scary and new and uncommon to all of these people. This makes it all the more impactful, right? And it's really, really interesting to hear. This is a great debut. Like, you could not have done a better debut if you fucking engineered it. Like, if you engineered it in retrospect, it would not have been this good. It's scary. But yeah, I guess I've been looking at the lyrics all throughout, and I've always been impressed by the like the animalistic, visceral, primal description of all the writing. Like, the writing is so descriptive, it so easily takes you there. Like, I never really talked about it, right? But I need it. The highlight element of it is that it really makes you feel like you're there. Like, we've all had experiences, I guess, when you're at this age. I'm 22. When you've all had experiences that are sort of similar, but not this wild, I'd say. Like, my experiences with partying and whatever, they haven't been this wild, but it takes you to a place where you can almost relate to it, where this is something like this happening, where, because this is a scene that we're all, just as a sign of the times and how we all behave as like young people, that this is a scene that you regularly exist in some way, shape, or form. But none of this happens on any of the other tracks. All the other tracks feel like they're unique scenes that are either exclusive to a racial experience, they're exclusive to a human experience that you don't really get to feel. Most of us aren't hardened criminals in some of these tracks, I guess. But the way that this feels is that you can draw the parallel here from how you basically connect your experiences with like, you know, the person that's partying in I Want It, I Need It, and sort of get into your own head and start drawing parallels between you and all of the other characters that you in a million years never thought you could relate to, with varying degrees of differences, right? Where the line starts to get more and more vague, and you start to realize that all of these people that are being described and embodied through this music are not different than you in any way. And I think that's really, really fucking cool. Yeah. I guess this is it for me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like this type of stuff. I want to keep doing this type of stuff. I want to do not just a reaction review, but an analysis. I wanna look into it. I wanna see, you know, through the matrix. But if you like this type of stuff, if you like hanging out like this, check out my Twitch. We play video and hang, I guess. Come to Twitter. I'll show you a good time. And maybe my Instagram too. I don't know. Do you like sad pictures and music recommendations? If you do, you could just come hang out, you know. I don't bite. But yeah, thanks for watching.